INFJs, do you find yourself dreading going out to a social event? You have a social event to go out to and you're just dreading it because you know when you get there, amongst all the people, it feels like you're from a complete different planet. Like, where am I? Where did these people come from? Why am I here? Kind of thing, right? You have that awkward stand by yourself. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so bad. Standing there awkwardly, watching everybody else have fun, mingling, and I'm standing there all by myself, feeling like I feel like a complete moron when that happens. I really despise it. Or maybe you really struggle making friends, connecting with people, or even keeping friends. Pardon me, I've got a cold today. This is what I wanted to have a conversation about today, is how INFJs struggle making friends, connecting with people, and keeping friends. I'm going to give you guys some things to think about. I think this will be a great conversation to talk about because I do see this come up lots. It's a pattern. While I'm lurking around social media, I say lurking because that's what I do lots. I see this come up lots. It's a huge complaint. It's probably a number one question that comes across when people reach out to me, or it's in their stories when they're talking to me and they're sharing stuff with me about how they have a hard time fitting in and making friends and keeping them. So I think it'll be a great conversation. So if this is you, stick around. I think you'll find it interesting. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm glad you found it. My name's Trina Bretnell. I am an INFJ. I'm also autistic. So I talk to INFJs and I also talk to INFJs who are autistic. I enjoy showing up and sharing things that I have found that have worked for me over the years. Sometimes they're missing pieces to puzzles when you're trying to fix yourself or work on yourself to get better and things just don't seem to work. I hate that. It's like banging your head against the wall. So I come in, I share little pieces that I have found that have worked for me, and hopefully it can fit into your puzzle and make things better for you. That's what I like to do. And hopefully I can help INFJs, pardon me again, and INFJs with autism feel seen, heard, and less alone. That's a huge one because that was big for me. So welcome to my channel. I hope you find it interesting. Before we get going, I do invite you, if you have a topic you would like me to talk about, please put it in the comments, or if you would like, I'm going to put my email in the description of this video, if I remember to. I've been really good about remembering, so I will. Then just drop me an email. Email me directly. I love hearing from you, and no, I will not put your name on an email list, so you will not be hearing from me all the time. I don't do that because that's like my pet peeve. So anyway, I love hearing from my viewers, and if you just want to reach out and share your story with me, that's cool. Or if you got an idea of something for me to talk about, cool too. Share it. I love hearing from you. Okay, let's get into this. Enough about this. Enough about me. Anyway, talking about INFJs having trouble making friends, connecting with other people when we go out. To this day, I really hate social events. Not because, well, some of it is because I have a hard time connecting. Most of it is, for me, is sensory overload. It's way too much. I have discovered things that will help that I'm going to try. Me discovering that I'm autistic is rather new. So I'm just in the new phase of this, trying different things out. So that's pretty cool. But for INFJs, from the INFJ standpoint, we have tendencies to create like a blueprint of what friends should be like. Now, this is just something to keep in mind. When I talk about all of this, maybe it doesn't apply to you. Maybe you've conquered this, or maybe you haven't really thought about this, that this is what we do. So I'm just throwing some stuff out there for you to think about when you're struggling with this, and maybe when you unpack it of what's going on, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is what's going on. So just giving you some food for thought today. So anyway, back to this. INFJs, we have a tendency of creating that blueprint of what friends should be like. This is what we do. It's our idealism. We're very idealistic that way. We have a great idea of what the world should be like, what our friends should be like, all of it. And when our friends fall short of this, so we make a friend and it falls short of what we think a friend should be like, we often will get disappointed. We'll get disappointed, maybe we'll feel hurt, we'll isolate, give up, and then the loneliness sticks in, right? It sets in. And we're like, oh, why can't I just keep friends? So keep this in mind, because we do this naturally. Our idealism comes naturally to us, so it's great to be mindful. Remember, we cannot control other people. So what we think friends should be like, they're not going to be like that. Keep that in mind when you're going into a friendship, that, oh, I've got this friend and this is how it's going to be and this is how they should be and blah, 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 and it goes on and on. Then step back and say, oh, okay, you know what, self? It's not going to be that way. This is completely out of my control, and let's just let these friendship chips fall where they may and see where it takes us without any expectations, okay? Just keep that in mind, that INFJs, we have a major idealism thing going on in our head for lots of different things, and friendships and connections, social events, this will happen to too. If we have an idea of what this social event should be like and how we're going to mingle, and it doesn't go that way, and it just kind of throws us into a tailspin, and we'll give up. So keep that in mind, the idealism. INFJs, we also struggle to fit in and make friends because of our rich inner world, okay? We are very busy. Our brains are very, very busy. And when I say this, busy is like an understatement. And if you're an INFJ, you know that that's true when I say it's an understatement. I don't even think I can describe what's going on. I've tried to describe to my mom what's going on in my head within a minute, and I can't put it into words. We're very rich inner world. It's filled with ideas and emotions and possibilities and rumination and all that overthinking things and conversations we have. It's just a very busy place. We think deeply and have very unique perspectives, okay? We do this because of our cognitive functions working together. So that's the INFJ. It's our introversion, our intuition, our feeling, and our judging functions all working together. This is what causes us to have that rich inner world where we're thinking deeply, we're feeling lots of emotions, we have ideas going on. This causes issues when we're out in public, we're trying to make friends, we're trying to connect, because other people do not have this inner world, okay? So we crave conversations where we can explore our deep thoughts even more. But if we're going out to a social event and that's what we think is going to happen, it's probably not going to happen unless you're coming across another INFJ, another person like you. There are some other personality types that will think deep too that we can connect with. I want to say one is an INTJ, but when you're going into a social event, unless you know personality typing very well, you're not going to be able to pick them out, okay? So don't expect that, because other personality types, most of them don't have this going on, okay? And I'm not saying don't try and get rid of those deep perspectives, those deep thoughts, those ideas, because that's what makes you you, and that's amazing. Just remember that other people don't have that going on, and a lot of other people don't value that deep conversation about those perspectives like you do. So that's when we're gonna get like the what planet are you from, or like okay, you know, that awkward happens to me. So what do we do about this? Find people like yourself and go and connect with them, okay? I know this can be hard because it's claimed that INFJs are a rare personality type, although I don't really know if that's true. I really don't. I have met a lot of INFJs. Now that I know, I have to go where they're going to be. And I have met tons of them now. I went for almost 40 years without meeting one because I was in the wrong place. This brings me to my next point. So where do we go to find them? If you're going in, you're getting ready and you're going out to this social event, or you're going to go out and spend an afternoon doing whatever it may be, and you're not really excited about it, you kind of have that dread going on, like, I don't really want to go to this. Don't go. Don't go. Your people aren't going to be there because they have that dread too, and they're probably not going to be there. They don't want to be there either. So go to where you want to go. Where is it that you want to go, where you feel the most comfy, where you're going to get the most out of your outing, because that's where you're going to find people that you're going to connect with, that you can have those deep conversations with, that are going to get you, okay? Just keep that in mind when you're getting ready to go out and you're dreading it because you know you're not going to fit in and blah, 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 then don't go. I don't go if I don't want to go. I have a strict rule about that, and I don't really care what other people think because it's me and it's my life and it's how I live my life. So don't go. Go to where you're comfy because that's where you're going to find your people. The next one I'm going to talk about, why INFJs struggle with making friends and fitting in, is our fear of vulnerability. Most of us, I'm not going to say all of us because we all have different life experiences, but the huge portion of INFJs massively fear vulnerability. It's just huge. We really struggle with opening up for a number of reasons. Maybe we fear being misunderstood, being rejected, being judged, being hurt, being used. Maybe it's all of the above, right? Maybe we have a misconception about vulnerability. I mean, there's lots of that out there, misconceptions about vulnerability. I used to think vulnerability was weak. It was wanting sympathy, being a drama queen, wanting attention. That's what I was raised to believe what vulnerability is. It is not at all. That is not what vulnerability is. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Back to being the fear of being misunderstood, rejected, judged, hurt, used. Think about it. Give it some thought. Is this what's going on? If we can't open up to people and allow them to get to know us, we can't connect. That's vulnerability, is being able to open up. Maybe you've been told that you've got walls up. You got such high, thick walls up. You can't get in there. I knew I used to, and I probably still do to a degree. I'm not going to say I've conquered this and mastered this because I think it's a work in progress for us. But I do think that my walls are a lot smaller depending on the person. We're really great at reading people. So if we come across somebody who we think could be manipulative and narcissistic, those walls might go way up. I know it will with me, because if I come across a narcissist or someone who I suspect is, I turn tail and run. Nope, not having it. That's crossing a boundary. I've spent my years with them and I don't do that anymore. So there's other people out there. I don't have to waste time with a narcissist because I'm probably saying it wrong too, by the way. I changed the pronunciation of narcissistic because I like it better. We're just going to go with it, just so you know. Anyway, I've spent enough years dealing with a narcissistic type person that there's many other wonderful people out there. I don't have to waste time with that, and I can't fix them. That's way off topic, so let's get back on topic. So just ask yourself if that's what's going on. Okay, if that's what's going on, if I've got the fear of being misunderstood, rejected, judged from past experiences, because it happens with INFJs often. And if that's what's going on, then start unpacking it. Work backwards. Where did it come from? Just unpack it. You might be amazed at what you learned from that. Okay, now back to the misunderstanding, the misconception of vulnerability. Thinking that it's weak, and many of us think this. Weak, we're being a drama queen, we're asking for sympathy. We don't want all eyes on us like that. We don't want to be thought of like that, but that's not what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is just a way for us to open up and allow people to get to know us. Think of it like this. Think of it as a seed, okay? So we're going to plant this seed, and it's going to be exposed to elements. It's going to be vulnerable to all the elements, okay? This could be very risky, but it also could be very good for this seed. We don't know which way it will go. So we nurture it with the vulnerability, right, to all the elements, and it allows this seed to grow into a beautiful flower. Okay? This is the same for us. By being vulnerable, INFJs allow themselves to grow and connect with others on a deep level. Lots of INFJs refuse any vulnerability, and people cannot connect with us if we are not vulnerable. Vulnerability is not sharing sad, sappy stories, life trauma, oh, woe is me, this happened to me. That is not vulnerability. That's a form of it. Vulnerability is also sharing fun stories, funny things that have happened, interesting things that have happened to you, a chance encounter that was like crazy or fun, an experience that was fun that will make somebody else laugh. That's vulnerability. It doesn't have to be sad, sappy. I hope this was helpful for you. I really do. If it was, please, I ask you to like my video, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I also invite you to share this video. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs it will reach, and that's what it's all about. Helping people, right? Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope this was helpful. And I will see you again very soon with another interesting video. Until then, take care. Bye for now.